Kgafela tribe. To give you some context on that conversation, now we know that on the 6th of March, the Northwest Premier Job Mogoro announced that the new administrator, who will now be managing the affairs of Bakgatla for the next couple of months, would be put in place. And this was one of the recommendations that were made in the Maluleka Commission, which is tasked to probe the maladministration of the tribe's funds. So let's take a look at that long-awaited report and what it found, JJ. The inquiry examined a number of transactions, and these were undertaken on behalf of the people living in 32 villages. And might I add, this was on one of the richest platinum deposits in the world. And in particular, the inquiry looked at two significant transactions that were signed by Pilane between the years 2006 and 2012 with Anglo Platinum and Pallinghurst Resources. Now, together, these yielded a gross income for the Bakgatla of more than 5 billion rands. That report exposed monies that should have flowed to the Bakgatla community from these investments, but, they were lost through a web of companies and trusts and offshore entities that were set up by Kgosi Pilane. Pilane was appointed as a senior traditional leader of the Bakgatla kgafela in 1996, and this was in the midst of South Africa's platinum boom, and it took around 20 years for this particular inquiry to be established under Judge George Maluleke, who died before this commission could be completed. And in that 20 years, JJ, the commission heard that people had flagged abuses of power and maladministration of the Bakgatla community funds. That report found that Pilane mismanaged the Bakgatla community's assets, and that it stated that he acted with little regard for the clear prescripts of the law and legal duties, and that he didn't really appear to be concerned about these. We also know, as you said earlier on, that the Bakgatla kgafela have taken these findings to court for judicial review. That's just some context into our discussion this evening. It's over to you, JJ.
Okay, thank you, Lindy, for those headlines and also that little bit of background. Kgosi Nyalala Pilane. Thank you so much for coming all the way, man, to come and talk to us. What happened? I just want you to just give us, in your understanding, in summary, because there was this whole commission of inquiry, very big report that was released about it, that, we now obviously hearing a little bit of it, bits and pieces of it coming out into the media. But if you were to just summarize for me the 2 or 3 things, right, that in your view, you disagree with in this report, or that sums up what the problem is with this report, because of course you are taking it on review, it means that there's something you are dissatisfied about in terms of what the report has found, in terms of how you have governed your own people, how you have managed the resources of your own people, which are the 2 big things that are coming out of this report. Just take us into your confidence and say, these are the 2 or 3 things that I think the Commission has found, or has purported to have found, and I think that I disagree with this, I agree with that. Just to set the background.
Thank you very much, Dr. JJ, and evening to your viewers. The report, let me start with the Commission. The Commission was about the dispute, the traditional leadership, Kgosi, Bakgatla. And in it, ediwa in the terms of reference.
Yes.
All those other things. If anything, another focus, it's 1.9, enable the flow of funds. Now, something that I'm disputing, or it was not about maladministration.
Okay.
Lemo commissioner, I think maladministration. And Heba Tobabua, lady reported in the decline. Like immediately after the report was presented, it was advertised it was the commission about maladministration. When actually, even in the terms of reference, there was nothing about maladministration. So that's the first point. The second point, Batu Babeba misrepresented effects. Leona Commission on its own, it has not found any maladministration, except that it really has satisfied the further investigation.
Yes, like a forensic investigation.
Like a forensic investigation.
Yes.
And that came up from the technical person, Wabona, because initially during the commission o sala recommenda gore o batla gore go diriwe forensic investigation or audit because o bona maladministration.
Yes.
But ga botswa gore we bona kae a o badile all the documents that were provided, a ba re ga di bala ebile a ka se di bala, he won't read them. Now, it was a voluminous document, saying or you might not have been able to read them at that time. But abare and because I delayed to bring those documents.
Yes.
But they were provided. He would not have rushed in concluding about our decision that mislead. But in any case, it continued, and then because of that, it's an administrator. The premier must appoint an administrator. Fair enough. But tata ke gore mo re le mo teng yona report one irile premier ga appoint administrator o tshwantse a consult le the royal family.
Yes.
Because act e ba berekela mo yona or ne ba berekela mo yona ya Northwest Traditional Leadership in a clause it dictated and premier gore before you can appoint an administrator you need to consult with the royal family. Leona report ya commission after I dira recommendation ya gore go tshwantse go dira administrator e bone phoso ya ba ya re go tshwantse section eo e amendiwe. Now it shows gore le bona ba bona gore they made a recommendation ailing against the act. That's why Babatagor Act must be amended. Fast forward. After the report was presented to the Premier has never presented the report to us. And us meaning Bakgatla. Premier decided for all media invited because now we are never invited. He presented not go Bakgatla, he presented go Rustenburg Civic Center. We were not invited. So now that he has presented to the media, he will then go to all 32 villages go Bakgatla to present the report. Now, that promise was never fulfilled.
Yeah. But he gave you access to the report. The report was given to you even if he didn't come and present it.
Report, it's available.
It's available.
Yeah. Isn't Premier gave me report. Premier never gave me report.
He didn't take you through it?
No.
He's never discussed it?
We've never discussed it. So, Ronare Emetsohor, Katsama Isoyonaya Commission, Otsanza present because we were the key people there. Otsanza present whether I do Malan or I do Malan, but he's enjoined, he must come and present it to us. But he's never done that.
But you are taking the report on review, which means that you are fully aware of everything that it is alleging went wrong under your administration?
Yes, we're taking the commission report to review, on review, because Premier Yanana present, he indicated or agree lay the report.
Yes. And
he's going to implement it.
Yes.
So that is not in dispute. But Ronane, there's this requirement in Natsanzige Haidira. Yeah. We have tried to engage with written letters. Yeah. Then guidance or implement there. Yeah. He never responded, neither acknowledged our letters. So that's why we are saying we can rather go ahead and take it on review.
But there are those who are arguing that even if you are taking on review, that doesn't stop him implementing it because you did not interdict the implementation of the report. You simply went on to ask for a review of it. What is your response to that? What are your lawyers saying about that?
Now, the lawyers are continuing. Interdict, unfortunately, it was not done because agency thing. It was struck off the roll. But the interdict is still there. It's proceeding. Kgafela is going to take time like any other court case. It's not on agent basis.
But the interdict was not granted. It was deemed not to be agent.
Yeah, the agency. Yeah. The interdict continues. Yeah. But it's not completed, as you rightly said. It was not granted. But you cannot say it was not granted because it is still continuing. The decision has not been made about the interdict. It is only about the agency.
What is not interdicted, Kgosi. That's what it means.
No, the interdict is continuing. The decision has not been taken. The only decision is care agency.
I see.
Yeah.
So you are still going to appear before court to talk about the interdict. You still want the interdict.
We still want it.
But what is the legal status of the report now, in your understanding? Is it? Do you think that it is on hold according to you, or it will only be on hold after you get the interdict?
Well, the recent court cases, the commission, the review, it has to be waited until